Hello, hello, and we are live, millionaires. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Millionaire TV with Xabelina book club, where we are going over the secrets of the millionaire mind. Y'all want to know what's all up in there. How do they do it? How do they do it? So this is what we're doing, guys. We are focusing on, we've just got a full panel here of personal development junkies, I like to call them, and we love to grow, because the more we grow, the more we're able to just grow our business, the more we're able to share with the world what we know. And as entrepreneurs, you always got to keep growing. When you think you know it all, you don't know enough. Okay, so what we do here is we're going over the book, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. We're going to be going over pages 25 through 34. And I've got here a full panelist of awesome entrepreneurs. And I'm just going to go ahead and go one by one and introduce them to you guys. And let's go ahead and start with Amber, who I love, and she's in Key West. Go ahead, girl, do your thing. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks. It's great to be here. I just want to say hi to everybody. Congratulations on making a decision to change your mind and study this with Xabelina, because we have a millionaire mind.
Amen to that. And guys, listen, Amber has her own hangout Saturday mornings, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and she goes over the Napoleon Hill Foundation, all the stuff that he's written. It's awesome. You got to get there. Tune in. So friend Amber on her Facebook, connect with her, and she also has a page of Key West, where I absolutely love, because I had no idea that Key West has so much stuff going on, man. I'm totally moving there. Like, seriously, it's awesome. Connect with her. And next, thank you, Amber, for being here. Next, we have Andrea. Andrea, go ahead and introduce yourself. Andrea, she's got an amazing blog and always positive, posting positive things on her page as well. Connect with her as well. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Andrea.
Hey everybody, I'm Andrea Ritchie. I live in North Carolina right now, and ever since I have decided to do videos outside, it has been raining. So I've been doing my videos inside. But I love this call on Tuesdays, and I've started calling it Transformation Tuesday, because there is always just something amazing and an aha moment and a breakthrough. So I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is so true. When she came out with the whole Transformation Tuesday, I was like, oh, girl, hashtag, hashtag. We got to live it up. Thank you so much for being here, Andrea. And next we have here Louis. And he as well is an entrepreneur, very focused on his business. He speaks amazing Spanish, you guys. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and all you know is Spanish and you somehow got on this call, God bless your heart. But go ahead and connect with Louis anyways. And he's also connected with Myra and Edgar, but I'll let them introduce themselves in a little bit. But go ahead and introduce yourself, Louis.
Hey, what's happening? This is Luis. I'm from Mexico, but I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm just really happy to be here. I guess this is my third time, so I guess it's part of my routine every Tuesday, right? So really excited to be here. Really excited to be a friend of yours as well. Xabelina, Lina, man, we have so many names for you. So I'm all excited.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you. So now you guys know what's up. If you guys want to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, you got somebody that you can connect with, and go do your thing over there. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is that the whole? I don't know, Louis.
I don't really know about that. I really embrace that for quite a few years, and I'm telling you that it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work, right? That's stinking thinking. That's broke thinking, man. Let me tell you, that's going to destroy your life. So thank you, Louis, for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure to always have you here. Thank you. We appreciate your feedback, and we just love to hear you speak. And next we have here Myra and Edgar, and they are a fabulous couple, and they have a few stories about this book. Thank you guys for being here. Myra is Puerto Rican. Love me some Puerto Ricans, and I love to hear her Spanish too. And Edgar is her husband. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, for us it's super excited about it to be with you guys, and to be with it's like enjoy and power energy every single Tuesday. And also I always enjoy a lot to be with my Puerto Rican partner in the business, because even that we are have a lot of influence on our heritage. We are able to impact a lot of people, English and Spanish, and also we have this kind of mindset that we want to help everybody to have it. And just because in our case we learned a lot from this book, and we want to share and to see that common people like us, we are able to make a lot of impact to a lot of people from the insights that we have.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you, Myra. Thank you. And Edgar, what's up? What you got to say about that? Go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you for being here.
Hello, I'm Edgar. I'm the husband.
The husband.
And well, I'm very glad to be here. And I enjoy these book readings, and I also enjoy being in the company of people who are like-minded, with our same goals and attitudes toward life and towards being our own entrepreneurs, right? And we are also persons that don't give up, and we are also people that have a mindset of our own to be successful in this world.
That's so true. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, all these people here have so much to share with us because they know the power of personal development. And next here, thank you guys for being here. Next we have Tanya, who she actually is not by herself. She has a little bun in the oven, and we're so blessed to have her here. Tanya is another amazing mompreneur who has a vision for her children, for her family, a vision of freedom, and she just loves to grow as well, and we're so blessed with your presence. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Tanya.
Oh, well, like you said, my name is Tanya, and I'm not here by myself. We're here. We are 8 months today. 6 more weeks to go, thank God. And I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to learn, and while I'm learning, I know that he's learning as well, which is it's just such a blessing. It's such a blessing.
That is so true. Thank you, Tanya. Oh, man, that is so true. I'll tell you what, when she receives the energy that happens in this group, it's so good for the baby, you know. It's exciting. I'm excited for that baby. The fact that you're here and that you're learning and all these things that you're going to pour into that child, you're just going to make this world a better place. Thank you, Tanya, for being here. Now, guys, usually what we do is I open up a PDF file and I read, and I'm a hot mess while I read, so you know, y'all bear with me. You know, I've got some birds in the background, but that's the good thing about being your own entrepreneurs and your own home's business, because I don't have an angry boss screaming over my shoulder. However, I do have a few angry birds screaming over my shoulder, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. It's worth the full-time income, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. So, anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into this. We're gonna go ahead and start to read. I'm going to do a screen share very quickly. Now, guys, bear with me here. Here we go. We're going to be going through page 25 through 34, and I'm going to read it. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Sounds good. All right. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Y'all ready? So last week we did a declaration, and pretty much is where you put your hand over your heart, and the declaration was, here it is, place your hand over your heart and say, what I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I choose to adopt new ways of thinking, what support my happiness, new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. All right, y'all, because my eyes are, you know, 30 plus years old, so I ain't in denial. I'll admit it. All right, and then it says touch your head and say, I have a millionaire in mind. So we're going to do that at the end. This is the part that I absolutely love. So here we go. So the second influence modeling. If you guys want to catch last week's replay, go ahead and do so, and subscribe to the channels that you see all over. Links, just click on those links, y'all. Be happy with the links. Don't worry, be happy. Let's do this. The second influence, modeling. The second way that we are conditioned is called modeling. What were your parents or guardians like in the area of money when you were growing up? Did one or both of them manage their money well, or did they mismanage it? Were they spenders or savers? Were they shrewd investors, or were they non-investors? Were they risk takers or conservative? Was money consistently there, or was the flow more sporadic? Did money come easily in your family, or was it always a struggle? Was money a source of joy in your household, or the cause of bitter arguments? I know it was the cause of bitter arguments for me, y'all. My mama was happy on Fridays, and Monday, she was just back at the whole, ooh. Okay, so why is this information important? You've probably heard the saying, monkey see, monkey do, right? Well, humans aren't far behind. As kids, we learn just about everything from modeling. Although most of us would hate to admit it, there's more than a grain of truth in the old saying, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. This reminds me of the story about a woman who prepares a ham for dinner by cutting off both ends. Her bewildered husband asks why she cuts off the ends, and she replies, "That's how my mom cooked it." Well, it just so happened that her mom was coming for dinner that night, so they asked her why she cut off the ends of the ham. Mom replies, "That's how my mom cooked it." So they decide to call Grandma on the phone and ask why she cut off the ends of the ham. Her answer, "Because my pan was too small." Oh, Lord have mercy. You see how we can get into these bad habits, y'all? Okay, so the point is that generally speaking, we tend to be identical to one or a combination of our parents in the arena of money. For example, my dad was an entrepreneur. He was in the home building business. He built anywhere from a dozen to 100 homes per project. Each project took a huge amount of capital investment. My dad would have to put up everything that we had and borrow heavily from the bank until the homes were sold and the cash came through. Consequently, at the beginning of each project, we had no money and were in debt up to our eyeballs. As you can imagine, during this period, my dad was not in the best of moods, nor was generosity his strong suit. If I asked him for anything that cost even a penny, his standard reply after the usual, "What am I, made of money?" was, "Are you crazy?" Of course, I wouldn't get a dime, but what I would get was that "don't even think of asking again" glare. I'm sure that you know that one. This scenario would last for about a year or two until the homes were finally sold. Then we'd be rolling in dough. All of a sudden, my dad was a different person. He'd be all happy, kind, and extremely generous. He'd come over and ask me if I needed a few bucks. I felt like giving him his glare right back, but I wasn't that stupid, so I just said, "Sure, Dad, thanks," and rolled my eyes. Life was good until that dreaded day when he'd come home and announce, "I found a good piece of land. We're going to build again." Oh, Lord have mercy. I distinctly remember saying, "Great, Dad, good luck," as my heart sank, knowing the struggle that was about to unfold again. This pattern lasted from the time that I could remember, when I was about 6, until the age of 21, when I moved out of my parents' house for good. Then it stopped, or so I thought. At 21 years of age, I finished school and became, well, you guessed it, a builder. I then went on to several other types of project-based businesses. For some strange reason, I'd make a small fortune, but just a short time later, I'd be broke again. I'd get into another business and believe that I was on top of the world again, only to hit bottom a year later. This up and down pattern went on for nearly 10 years before I realized that maybe the problem wasn't the type of business that I was choosing, the partners that I was choosing, the employees that I had, the state of the economy, or my decision to take time off and relax when things were going well. I finally recognized that maybe, just maybe, I was unconsciously reliving my dad's up and down income pattern. All I can say is, thank goodness that I learned what you're learning in this book and was able to recondition myself out of that yo-yo model and into having a consistently growing income. Ooh, Lord have mercy, y'all. Sorry, that's my telephone. I need to get me some type of assistant, y'all. Don't mind. Let's see. Where we at? Okay, so the yo-yo model. Okay, so into having a consistently growing income. Today, the urge to change when things are going well and to sabotage myself in the process still comes up. But now there's another file in my mind that observes this feeling and says, thank you for sharing. Now, let's get refocused and back to work. Another example comes from one of my seminars in Orlando, Florida. Whoop, whoop, Florida, y'all, Florida. That's where Amber's from. Let's see. As usual, people were filling up to the stage one by one to get an autograph and say hello or thank you or whatever. I'll never forget one older gentleman because he came up sobbing. He could barely catch his breath and kept wiping his tears with his sleeve. I asked him, what's wrong with you? Or this would have been Lena. This would have been Lena. What's the matter with you? Why are you crying? Oh, you see, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Got to get me an assistant. Let me turn off this cell phone because it's loud. Don't mind. Just give me 1 second. So anyway, so why is this dude crying? Let's see. So where are we going? I'll never forget that one older gentleman. So I asked him, what's wrong with you, bro? Okay, so he said, I'm 63 years old, and I've been reading books and going to seminars since they were invented. I've seen every speaker and tried everything that they taught. I've tried stocks, real estate, and been in over a dozen different businesses. I went back to the university and I got an MBA. I've got more knowledge than 10 average men, yet I've never made it financially. I'd always get a good start but end up empty-handed. And in all those years, I never knew why. I thought I must just be plain old and stupid until today. Oh, he had an epiphany, y'all. Isn't that good? Okay, so finally, after listening to you and doing the processes, it all makes sense. There's nothing wrong with me. I just had my dad's money blueprint stuck in my head, and that's been my nemesis. My dad went through the heart of the Depression era. Every day he would try getting jobs or selling things and come home empty-handed. I wish I would have understood modeling and money patterns 40 years ago. What a waste of time all that learning and knowledge has been. He began to cry even harder. Oh, Tito. I replied, no way is your knowledge a waste of time. It has just been Latin. What's that word, y'all? I don't even know what that means. Latent? Latin? Anyways, waiting in a mind bank, waiting for the opportunity to come out. Now that you've formulated a success blueprint, everything you've ever learned will become usable, and you will skyrocket to success. Amen, y'all. Hashtag amen. And somebody look up that word Latin in the dictionary. Okay, so for most of us, when we hear the truth, we know it. He started to lighten up and began breathing deeply again. Then a big grin came across his face, and he gave me the biggest hug and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Last I heard from him, everything was booming. he has accumulated more wealth in the last 18 months than in the past 18 years combined. I love it. Again, you can have all the knowledge and skills in the world, but if your blueprint isn't set for success, you're financially doomed. We often get seminar participants whose parents were involved in the World War II or who lived through the Depression. These people are often in shock when they realize how much their parents' experiences have actually influenced their beliefs and habits around money. Some spend like crazy because you could easily lose all your money, so you might as well enjoy it while you can. Oh Lord, how many times have I heard that? Okay, so others go the opposite route. They hoard their money and they save for a rainy day. A word of wisdom: saving for a rainy day might sound like a good idea, but it can create big problems. One of the principles that we teach in another of our courses is the power of intention. If you are saving your money for a rainy day, what are you going to get? Rainy days. Stop doing that, millionaire. Okay, so instead of saving for a rainy day, focus on saving for a joyous day, or for the day that you win your financial freedom. Then, by virtue of the law of intention, that's exactly what you're going to get. Ooh, isn't that the truth? So, earlier we said that most of us tend to be identical to one or both parents in the arena of money. But there's also the flip side of the coin. Some of us end up being exactly the opposite of one or both parents. Why would that happen? Do the words anger and rebellion ring a bell? In short, it just depends on how ticked off you were at them. Unfortunately, as little kids, we can't say to our parents, Mom and Dad, have a seat. I'd just like to sit here and discuss something with you. I'm not fond of the way that you're managing your money, or, for that matter, your lives. And therefore, when I become an adult, I'll be doing things quite differently. I hope that you understand. Okay, good night now, and pleasant dreams, kisses. No, no, no. It does not go quite that way. Instead, when our buttons are pushed, we generally freak out, and what comes out sounds more like, I hate you. I will never be like you. When I grow up, I'm going to be rich, and then I'll get whatever I want, whether you like it or not. Then we run to our bedroom, slam the door, and start pounding our pillows or whatever else is at hand to vent our frustration. Many people who come from the poor families become angry and rebellious about it. Often they either go out and get rich or at least have the motivation to do so. But there's one little hiccup, which is actually a big burp. Whether such people get rich or work their buns off trying to become successful, they are not usually happy. Why? Because the root of their wealth or motivation for money is anger and resentment. Consequently, money and anger become linked in their minds. And the more money such individuals have or strive for, the angrier they get. Eventually, the higher self says, I'm tired of being angry and stressed out. I just want to be peaceful and happy. Oh my goodness, let me read that again. Okay? Eventually, the higher self. I need y'all to just kind of soak that one in, the higher self. Okay? It says, I'm just tired, y'all. I'm tired of being angry and stressed out. I just want to be peaceful and happy. So they ask the same mind that created the link what to do about this situation. To which their minds answer, if you want to get rid of your anger, you're going to have to get rid of your money. So they do. They subconsciously get rid of their money. They don't even realize it. Isn't that a hot mess? We're just a hot mess, y'all. We need a reprogramming. Reboot. Okay, so they overspend or make a poor investment decision, or get a financially disastrous divorce, or they sabotage their success in some way or other. But no matter, because now these folks are happy, right? Wrong. Things are even worse because now they're not just angry, they're broke, y'all, and angry. They got rid of the wrong thing. They got rid of the money instead of the anger, the fruit instead of the root. Meanwhile, oh, y'all need a hashtag. Hashtag, they got rid of the money instead of the anger, the fruit instead of the root. So meanwhile, the real issue is, and always was, the anger between them and their parents. And until that anger is resolved, they will never be truly happy or peaceful, regardless of how much money that they have or they don't have. The reason or motivation that you have for making money or creating success is vital. If your motivation for acquiring money or success comes from a non-supportive root, such as fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, your money will never bring you happiness. And there's the principle, y'all. Take a nice screenshot of that sucker, throw it on Facebook, tweet it. All right, so here we are on page 32. Why? I'm telling you, y'all, I need to get myself an assistant. This is not funny. All right, so why? Because you can't solve any of these issues with money. Take fear, for instance. During my seminars, I asked the audience, how many of you would cite fear as your primary motivation for success? Not many people put up their hand. However, then I asked, how many of you would cite security as one of your main motivators for success? Almost everyone puts up his or her hand. But get this, security and fear are both motivated by the same thing. Seeking security comes from insecurity, which is based in fear. So, will more money dissolve the fear? Ha! You wish. But the answer is absolutely not. Why? Because money is not the root of the problem. Fear is. What's even worse is that fear is not just a problem. It's a habit. Fear is not just a problem. It's a habit. Therefore, making more money will only change the kind of fear that we have. When we're broke, we were most likely afraid we'd never make it or never have enough. Once we make it, however, our fear usually changes to, what if I lose what I've made? Ooh, I can relate. Or everyone's going to want what I have. Or I'm just gonna have to go and get, creamed in taxes, man. These people are gonna kill me, man. All these taxes, I'm gonna have to pay all these taxes. Yes, that's the first thing people worry about. So in short, until we get to the root of this issue and dissolve the fear, no amount of money will help. Of course, given a choice, most of us would rather worry about having money and losing it than not having money at all. But neither are overly enlightened ways to live. As with those of us driven by fear, many people are motivated to achieve financial success, to prove that they are good enough. Well, we'll cover this challenge in detail in part 2 of this book. But for now, just realize that no amount of money can ever make you good enough. Money can't make you something that you already are. Again, as with fear, the always having to prove yourself issue becomes your habitual way of living. You don't even recognize that it's running you. You call yourself a high achiever, a hard driver. I'm determined, and all these traits are fine. The only question is why? What is the root engine that drives all this? For people who are driven to prove that they are good enough, no amount of money can ease the pain of that inner wound that makes everything and everyone in their life not enough. No amount of money or anything else for that matter will ever be enough for people who feel that they are not good enough themselves. Again, it's all about you, millionaire. Remember, your inner world reflects your outer world. If you believe that you're not enough, you will validate that belief and create the reality that you don't have enough. On the other hand, if you believe that you are plenty, you will validate that belief and create plenty of abundance. Why? Because plenty will be your root, which will then become your natural way of being. By unlinking your money motivation from anger, fear, and the need to prove yourself, you can install new links for earning your money through purpose, contribution, and joy. That way, you'll never have to get rid of your money to be happy. Being a rebel or the opposite of your parents is not always a problem. To the contrary, if you were a rebel, often the case with second-born children, and your folks had poor money habits, it's probably a good thing that you are their opposite. On the other hand, if your parents were successful and you're rebelling against them, you could be in for serious financial difficulties. Ooh, yes. Either way, what's important is to recognize how your way of being relates to one or both of your parents in the arena of money. So here we go, y'all. So here are some steps for change. I love this book because it teaches you not only, it's telling you, but it teaches you how to fix it. Okay, so awareness. Consider the ways of being and habits each of your parents had around money and wealth. Write down how you may be identical or opposite to either of them. Now, understanding. Write down the effect that this modeling has had on your financial life. Disassociation. Can you see this way of being is only what you learned and it actually really isn't you? Can you see you have a choice in the present moment to be different? Declaration. All right, so we're gonna do this together, guys, and we're gonna do this towards the end. So we're gonna place our hands over our hearts, and we're gonna say, what I modeled around money was their way. I choose my way. We're gonna touch our heads and say, I have a millionaire mind. We'll go ahead and go back to the hangout here, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have a lot to say. I'm ecstatic. Can't wait to hear y'all. Let's see. I'm back. Sup, millionaires? So go. Oh, hello, Lona. Hello, we got Lona in the hangout. All right, y'all. So what did you think about that? What did you think? What part impacted you the most? Lona, go ahead and introduce yourself, beautiful. Thank you for being here. She's an awesome person.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, baby girl.
Okay. What I'm supposed to do, I came in late, and my computer crashed too. And I had to come back in, so I didn't really catch much of the reading too much, but I kind of got the gist of it a little bit. I'm Lona Rochelle Taylor out there on Facebook, and Zabby's friend out there. We kind of network together and have fun out there with our posts and stuff. And she invited me today, kind of on the spur of the moment. And I went out and took my 20-minute walk, and then I came back and came in late here. But I kind of got something from the reading a little bit about. I grew up on a ranch where my dad had a feedlot for cattle, and he had like about.
Did you freeze, Lona? Did we lose Lona? Oh, she froze. Lona, we're going to be waiting for you, Mama. So go ahead and try to jump back on. Andrea, my dear, I see that you have you've unmuted yourself. What you got to say about that, beautiful?
When I first started my whole personal development thing, I had a lot of anger. Like, my favorite thing that my boyfriend had to say to me was, "Why are you so bitter?" And I was like, I'm not bitter, but I was. I was so angry about everything. And I had to do a lot of forgiveness and get rid of a lot of stuff to start to see success and to start to to have the life that I wanted.
Yeah.
And then I realized just a couple of months ago, my mom used to hide money. It was always like there was always plenty, like she always had money for me, but it was don't tell anybody. So I realized that with my own money even that had nothing to do with anybody else, I would lie about what stuff costs. I would lie about what I spent. I would lie about everything. And then I realized, why the hell am I lying? Like,
wow.
And so now I've gotten to the point where I am not so bitter. And, you know, it's my money and I spend it, you know, where I see value. And that's cool. And it has just brought so much more into my life because I'm not always trying to cover up what I want or what I have or what I'm doing.
Wow, that's powerful. That's such a good example of how what our parents have taught us and the things that they do, how it has affected us, and you don't even realize it. It's crazy. Crazy, right? Does anybody else have anything to say about that? Amber, what do you think about that?
So I'm so glad that you're reading this, first of all. Thanks for doing it, because I bought this book, I think it might have been 1999. I'm not sure if that's when it came out, but I was at this big Success Magazine event, this huge event, and they recommended this and Think and Grow Rich. And I've listened to this audio forever and ever and ever, and I've never actually read it. I think I forgot how to read. I listened to so many audios. But so I was sitting here thinking, like trying to think back to my childhood and, you know, what's my issue. And I'm pretty sure that I kind of grew up, you know, I didn't grow up wealthy, but we didn't grow up poor. I think people thought we were really wealthy. My parents were investors, and we always had like gold bars and gold coins around the house. And I didn't really grow up with a regard for money. Like, I've always been a spender. And, you know, I was thinking, well, I know my credit card has always been an issue because I tend to max out credit cards. And I just remembered when I was a kid, I grew up in this small town in Colorado called Crested Butte, Colorado. And it was like 9,000 feet up in the Rockies. There was only like 2,500 people in the town. And I'm an only child, so I guess I'm completely spoiled. Or I was, but we had a charge account at every single place in town. So I would literally go get an ice cream with my friends, charge it. I didn't have to sign anything. I just say, oh, charge it. You know, it was like the little grocery stores. I'd go to the deli at lunch and order up this huge spread, peppertron cookies for all my. I ran up like I was in 7th grade. I ran up a $300 deli bill one month, buying my friends lunch. You know, I had no concept of the value of $1. And I think I'm still affected by that to this day. I mean, I sold like silver platters and grandmother's jewelry so I could I made like $10,000 and spent it all on personal development and buying training for our different companies training products, and what a mess, you know. And then I maxed out my credit card on events. So I still haven't quite learned the value of $1. Although once I max out my credit cards, then I learn, because then I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have $1 to go to see a movie or something, you know. It's just, and then I learned the value of $1. So it's so silly, and I guess that, yeah. Hopefully I'll get it now that I'm 48. Almost 50. I should be learning that value any minute now, but. Having the awareness with this is really going to help them, because I never really looked at it like that.
It does. You know, it's so important because I think Napoleon Hill, he's so good at teaching you how to get the money. But as soon as you get the money, it's like, how do you keep the money, right? He teaches you, okay, there's an overflow of money coming, or not even coming. There's an energy of, you just got to stand in the way of it. And then you become this professional. Now you get all this money, and now you're just like, oh, what do I do with it? You know what I mean? Like you just start spending it. It's so true. Oh my goodness, y'all, I'm telling you. But you know what? I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. Listen, my phone has been going off, the doorbell. I'm telling you, y'all. But I'm not complaining. This is my home office. Y'all done stepped into my home office. Hello, Lona, and Lona is back. Thank you for being back with us, beautiful. We've got here Myra. Myra, what do you have to say? What would you like to share about that, Myra and Edgar?
Hey,
What the heck was that?
no, that is not the fact. Just that you don't feel alone. Okay. Well, on my case in specific, I just identify a lot on the part when they said when you're rebel of your parents, when you're rebel of your parents, because sometimes he said here that when it's something like that, you get the positive good things. And specifically, if I have to say, I love my mom very, very deeply, but my mom, she always been raised when she was raised, she struggled a lot with the economic situation on their time. And she always say you have to be saving and you have to be careful, no extreme, and not kind of make a huge decision. Remember, you have to behave in your job and everything. And for me, it was like no way, I'm not gonna live like that. I just want to make everything completely different because I know always that something better is outside. And that's what I just made decision drastical that many people normally doesn't do. For example, I just in 6 years ago I just moved to Texas by myself with my daughter only, without family, without a job. I spent 6 months without a job, and everybody think that I'm crazy, but I just have my vision and my focus that I just want to build something better for my life, for the quality life of my daughter. And I know that always, every time that I say, okay, if I'm gonna quit, no, I just have like the other side, like no, I just already leave this kind of attitude of comfort zone. That if I'm gonna stay, I see around me on my work that everybody is like, okay, I'm happy here, just 8 to 5, and I say, no, I'm always rebel. I'm looking for liberty and to be free, And that's what of my touched me a lot because my mom always challenge me in a positive way because every time that she says something, I just make the other things. And it's not that I'm encouraged. It's because, and she don't have it's not her fault because that's the way that she was raised. That everything is a fear or made decision drastical. But for me, I think that what that was like a power of say, okay, if she made this, she said this, maybe I'm looking myself on her and I say I'm not gonna live that way. I just want to look something more challenging or more positive for around my family. What else?
I don't know. I was a rebel too, but I was kind of different. My dad used to work very hard for what he had. So at a time, he was saying, "Oh, what are you gonna do to have what you're supposed to have, right?" So I would just go work and save, and then buy myself stuff, and then flaunt it in front of his face, like, here's what I had with my money, and he would say, "Okay, that's good. Now how are you gonna pay for it?" And you know, I was without me knowing, I was actually, believe it or not, you would say, you're probably crazy if you think like that. But I'm going to tell you what I thought. Still, I thought that I was creating myself good ideas to have the stuff I wanted. Now, buying the stuff I wanted pressured myself to look for better ideas for myself, right? And to pay for the stuff I had without any problem. Now, did it take me time to find out for myself how to be financially free. Yes, it takes time and determination also to do that. Well, you sometimes have to take the risk to find what you want and how you want to achieve your own goals. But if you don't try that, your goals will never come, and the way to achieve your goals will never come. You have to find different ways. Money is out there, but if you don't try different things, different things will not come.
That's so true. Thank you guys for sharing that. He said I used to make my money and then I would go show my father, look, this is what I bought. Look what I bought. Look what I bought. No, it's so funny. We don't even realize. We don't even realize that we're doing it. Tanya, what would you like to? Do you have anything that you would like to share about that, my dear?
There's a word that keeps coming up that we're all saying, and it's value. And these days, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. I want that $30,000 car, $40,000 car, $50,000 car, not knowing that as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates with value. They they want everything, but they don't know nothing. And then that's another thing. We're talking about the 63-year-old guy that attended all the workshops, had all this schooling, and never made a dime. And the secret to that is to never stop learning. You can never have too many shoes or too much education. You've always got to keep learning in order to have what you want. And that falls back into being prepared to receive what's given to you. If you don't know about it, you're not going to keep it.
Isn't that the truth? You got to know the value. Isn't that the truth? Thank you for sharing that, Tanya. And Louis, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Thank you.
I grew up being a rebel as well. That's what I actually ended up in the U.S. I ended up right here when I was 20 years old. I'm 30, and then because I was a rebel, my mom was paying for everything, and for some reason when I was 20, I thought I was old enough. So I'm like, how my mom is gonna pay for my school? So I ended up in Vegas. Um, we have a blueprint, and I always said that to myself. Like my stepdad sells washer and dryer machines, and they make good money out of it. And I used to hate that, and I refused myself to learn the business. Just a quick story. I ended up trying that in Vegas, and I ended up learning how to use Craigslist. And thanks to that, I ended up on this business. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I ended up using because I refused myself so bad. And I ended up selling and buying washer machines through Craigslist, and then I ended up knowing about one opportunity, making how to make money online. But you know what? We got it all twisted. If you, I'm gonna try to read something real quick. I sent it to you guys on the conversation, but it says because we got it all twisted, like the money, like the value that we get out of it. It says it is interesting that our society is totally okay to spend 50,000 on a heart attack, but what would people say if you spend that amount of what would people say if you spend that amount on just having fun? I don't want to go through the whole thing, but a lot of people, it's okay used to spend 50,000 in a heart attack, and you like the whole family comes together. Oh yeah, let's go and support Luis. He had a heart attack, but we never spend money on having fun. It just basically when you were reading the one of the chapters, it says that you're always saving money for a rainy day, right? So you're attracting that. And I used to send it to you guys. I mean, I did a post on Facebook. If you go on our conversation on the group for this hangout, you're gonna be able to read everything. But it is so weird because you're willing to spend a lot of money on bad things, which is a heart attack. But if you spend 50,000 on just having fun, you can go through a divorce. It is so weird, like, because you kind of like, I don't know if it's the same point, but like on the reading, that's what you guys said. That's what it says on the book. You are willing to spend. You're always trying to save money for a rainy day, but we never try to save money for just for having fun, I guess, you know. So I don't know. I don't know, but I send you guys that link, and it is so true. You know, we always want to save money for a bad thing, a heart attack, you know, or a disease, or you know, an accident. We're always saving money because of that, but we're never saving money because you want to go out and have fun with your mom, with your dad, with your family. So I just wanted to touch that point because that was really powerful. That was really powerful. We're always saving money for a rainy day. We're always saving money for the heart attack. We got to start saving money to have fun and enjoy life, you know, and all that kind of
Responsibly.
stuff. Yeah, but I want to invite you guys to actually go to my Facebook, and I took a picture of that, of the book that I'm actually reading right now, and you'll be surprised. You're gonna be able to read the whole thing. I get nervous when I read in front of people, you know. I get really nervous, but
Thank you.
it is so weird. Like we're always saving money, used to, because if something happens for a rainy day, for a bad thing, so we got to start saving money to buy more books and celebrate and have fun and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Thank you, Louis. Thank you. And we have to celebrate responsibly, right, Louis? We already know what it's like to celebrate irresponsibly, and we're not
yeah.
going down that route.
No, no, no.
Right? Yeah. So one of the things that really kind of stuck out to me in the book was the part where it said, eventually the higher self says, I'm tired of being angry and stressed out. I just want to be peaceful and happy. But instead of really kind of digging deep and searching what the problem is, why am I so angry, what they do is, instead of getting rid of the actual problem, they get rid of the money. And it's like, what the heck, you know? And then and it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Another thing that stuck out to me was the reasons why people make money. It could be like their ego. They try to. I think it's on page 33. Yeah, the high achiever, a hard driver, determined, and all these traits are fine. The only question is why, and what is the root engine that drives all this? So eventually you just get burned out because you feel like you have to be somebody that you're really not, you know. Or Louis, like what you were saying, you know, it's my thing is I've been learning that Robert Kiyosaki teaches this, to have your money work for you. And it's what, Tanya, you were saying, that people go out, they make money, and then they go buy these fancy cars, $50,000 car, you know, and then they drive it off the lot, and it's worth 30. And it's like, what the heck? That's not an investment, you know? So have your money work for you. For example, in the types of businesses that we're in, you know what I mean? Like, this is residual income. If we stop working, the money's still coming in. So that's money working for you. You know, would anybody else like to add to any of this? I see that you've unmuted yourself, Louis. Go ahead, and also Myra. Myra, go ahead. Myra, go ahead, honey.
Hey, I just want to have a little quick thought. Is that many people start to thinking, and I just been reading this part of I don't know what part it is on the book, but they say, why I'm not successful, why I'm not, and they start to blaming a lot of people, like, oh, because it's my mom, or because, but the thing is, sometimes we have to stop and say, okay, I'm not going to blame any more people, because if I have to start with me, everything is going to change. But that is a moment that you have to realize, okay, what is going to happen if I don't make any change? Because there's people that start in the loop. Okay, well, my business is not success, and then this business is not success, and I'm going to change to another business, and I'm going to change to doing another stuff. But at the same time, they don't realize that the problem is not the business, it's not the sponsor, it's not the people that are on your team, or this not any kind of things. It's starting with you, and that is why you have to start beginning and recognize what you have to change, because sometimes we have patterns of our parents, but the thing is that if you don't stop and realize this and start to think, okay, maybe the problem is me, basically. And that's why I have to start to change on my mindset. I start to develop more positive things, challenge yourself to finding ways to improve yourself every day, to find people around you to be more positive, and everything is gonna come to you, specific the money, because but the first things that I said that I think that is the key of the of change is just to recognize that you have a problem.
Yeah, I want to say something that's so true, and everyone knows about it, and everyone reads about successful people. And one of the key things is like take responsibility of your life. And I used to blame my mom actually, like why am I doing so bad? And then one day my brother talked to me like, dude, you gotta start taking you gotta be responsible for your own life. And then every time I'm going through a rough situation, I'm always playing the victim, and that's what I am. So I know I'm aware of it. At least I'm aware of it already. But we're always playing a role. I'm a victim guy. I'm always playing the victim. Oh, I can do this well, because I don't speak. Oh, because I have this or I have that. I put a lot of limitations, but I'm always the victim. And I actually, I'm aware of it, and that's so cool about it because now I'm responsible for everything. But I used to blame my mom. And I'm sorry to say that because it's just my mom, but I'm like, how come you're not doing so well? Oh, because my mom never supported me. Man, my mom was working 15, 20 hours a day when I was a kid. She was doing the right thing, but I used to blame my mom. Oh, how come you don't have this, or how come you're not doing that so good? Because I never had education. You know, I was just a big trouble growing up. But a few years ago, I decided to be responsible, and I gotta be aware of it all the time. Because if not, I start playing the same role over again. Like I start blaming everyone else, the system, my mom, my brother, my wife. So it's pretty cool what Mara says. You gotta be responsible, and while you're responsible, you're aware of it, and then a lot of things start changing in your life. So.
That's so true. We all have a mask on, and we gotta take off that mask, y'all, in order to be vulnerable and in order to learn and in order to grow. That's so important, and that's very humbling. Let me tell you, some of the I don't know, y'all, but my face is frozen on my screen. I don't know if it's frozen on y'all's screen, but I'm kind of getting tired of looking at myself. I mean, I'm smiling and everything. It's a good pose. At least it's not one of those, you know.
No,
But it's frozen.
it's not frozen.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, so it's just my end. It's tripping. But yeah, guys, it's 8:29, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do want to go ahead and do the declaration, which is awesome. It's one of my favorite parts. So go ahead and unmute yourselves. I love all of your testimonies, everything that you guys have shared, all of the points that you guys have made. I'm pretty sure that all of this touched somebody's heart. They can relate to it. Listen, if you guys are interested, whoever is watching, if you're interested on being a part of this panel, then go ahead and contact whoever it is that you know on this panel and get with us, and we would love to have you. And we're all about growing, man, you know? So here we go, y'all. Here we go. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Go ahead and unmute your microphones. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to place our hand over our hearts, and we're going to say this. We're going to say this, okay? Repeateth after meeteth, okay? So what I modeled around money was their way.
What I wanted was their way.
I choose my way.
I choose my way.
Now touch your head and say,
I have a
I have
a mirror.
Amen. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. And listen, another thing, whoever's on here watching, y'all, we have a very, very, very special training after this. If you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to learn what to do with the leads that you get, go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and leave a link below this video or above, somewhere left, right. I don't know where it's going to be, but it's going to say TNT Tuesday Night Trainings. And if you know the person on here, go ahead and get the link from them. It's going to be amazing trainings. We're talking about top earners here who will teach you the ropes on how to work from home. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for being here. I love y'all, millionaires, and I will catch y'all next weekend. Well, not weekend. What's wrong with me? I need to eat, y'all. I'm hungry. Anyway, bye. Bye, millionaires. Bye.